Hey guys, so I get the videos and pages I respond to in a variety of ways. I will just find them in a Google search, I'll have them sent to me, stuff like that. I came across today's video, oddly enough, as a commercial when I was flipping through another atheist YouTube videos. Let's take a look.
You may have heard of the theory of intelligent design. It holds that certain features of the universe and of living things are best explained by an intelligent cause, not an undirected process such as natural selection. Seems simple enough, and yet the passion with which many scientists attack the theory known as intelligent design and attack its proponents as well is quite a curiosity.
It's not really that curious. You're proposing it as a scientific theory with no evidence to back it up, and making assumptions of the existence of an intelligence behind the creation of the universe and living things. It would be the same as if somebody was claiming that forest fires were the result of dragons, which conveniently remain hidden. It presupposes the existence of dragons for the hypothesis to hold. To your point, if you can prove the existence of your deity, then you can use it as the basis for a hypothesis for the creation of life, the universe, and everything. But until that point, you can't call intelligent design a theory because of the previously mentioned supposition. What works up scientists, and anybody who wants to be intellectually honest, into a frenzy is that proponents of intelligent design want it taught as science when it clearly is not.
It would be one thing if the attackers simply disagreed with the theory, but at the heart of most attacks is a single, crucial claim. Intelligent design is not science. But why not? What is it about the claim that life may exhibit signs of intelligent design that takes it outside of the realm of science?
Because, as I mentioned above, it assumes the existence of a creator as an explanation without any evidence to support that assumption.
If intelligent design research cannot be a scientific endeavor, then what about SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence? The effort counts such scientific luminaries as Carl Sagan and Frank Drake among its founders and promoters. SETI uses radio telescopes to scan the skies, listening to the random noise of the universe in the hopes that something non-random can be noted, indicating a possible intelligence behind its origin. If the search for indications of intelligence isn't science, why is SETI scientific?
Well, for starters, we already have evidence of the existence of life in the universe. On a small planet, orbiting third from their sun, galactically speaking in the middle of nowhere, there's a species that could laughably be called intelligent.
Far out, in the uncharted backwaters of the unfashionable end of the western spiral arm of the galaxy, lies a small, unregarded yellow sun. Orbiting this at a distance of roughly 92 million miles is an utterly insignificant little blue-green planet whose ape-descended life forms are so amazingly primitive that they still think digital watches are a pretty neat idea.
Neat. The fact that it arose here means that, in theory, it could rise elsewhere in the universe. We are not making the assumption that intelligence will be found, or even that it does exist, simply extrapolating that since it's found here, it could be found elsewhere. What scientific tests would you put forth to search for the existence of your deity?
Consider archaeology. If Bill and Ted are two working archaeologists, and Bill says, "Hey Ted, look at this ancient stone tool I just discovered," should Ted respond, "Bill, you know we can't scientifically recognize intelligent causation. How do you know that isn't just a rock?" Should Bill and Ted discover Stonehenge, would concluding that its massive stones were intelligently arranged there take them out of the realm of science? Must they only investigate how the massive stones could have naturally grown into such an amazing configuration, or how they mysteriously, and altogether unintelligently, dropped from the sky to land so conveniently? Would suggesting that Stonehenge was actually designed by minds with intelligence cause Bill and Ted to be stripped of their status as scientists?
No, because again, we already have evidence of two things. One, the existence of people, and two, the knowledge of people building things. If your theoretical Bill and Ted made the claim that the stones of Stonehenge were put up by intelligent crab monsters, that would not be a scientific claim because we have no basis for the existence of intelligent crabs. Your Bill and Ted would be using what we do know, namely that people existed in the past and that people have the ability to build things out of rocks. Those rocks were unlikely to form that way naturally, so therefore we can make the likely assumption that they were placed there by people in the past. We do not have evidence of the existence of an intelligence outside the universe, let alone one that has the ability to create a universe.
In fact, when a forensic scientist examines a dead body and determines that the individual did not die of natural causes but died as a result of murder, should we strip him of the title scientist because he has made a determination of intelligent action?
For the simple fact that the forensic scientist will use the evidence that is known to come to a conclusion. He's making a, as you put it, determination of intelligent action attributed to an existing known intelligence, specifically people. We know that people do exist. If a body was found with 2 puncture wounds in its neck and drained of blood, it would not be prudent to claim vampires did it because we don't have evidence of vampires. Theories where we don't have to assume the existence of something we have no evidence for, like the victim was stabbed in the neck twice and after they bled out was moved to a new area, are more likely to be true.
Some have suggested that intelligent design isn't empirically testable enough to be science. But many of the most popular scientific theories of the day, such as the multiverse theory and string theory in physics, have proven to be far more devoid of empirical evidence than the theory of intelligent design. Why are they considered scientific and intelligent design theory is not?
For the multiverse theory, we have evidence that at least one universe exists, namely the one we're living in at the moment. If one can exist, which we know it does, then we can extrapolate from that others may exist as well. As for string or M theory, I have to admit that my knowledge is a bit lacking in that field. But from what I comprehend, that while it's an elegant attempt to unify the major forces, since it makes so few predictions and currently lacks the ability to be tested, many physicists, while admitting the math and simulations work, disagree that it's a valid scientific theory. And frankly, are sick of fighting grant committees to get funding for research to unifying theories that aren't string theory. From what I understand, to test the extremely high energy needed to detect one-dimensional strings, we would need a hadron collider roughly the size of the solar system. Which, to be fair, is more of an engineering issue, so guys, get on that. Again, the difference between those and intelligent design is that those hypotheses work with the known evidence and working theories that we currently have, and the scientists are willing to do legitimate research on the subject, while intelligent design presupposes an intelligence that we have no proof of. Bring your proof of an intelligent creator, and your claims of intelligent design would have some backing from a scientific standpoint.
You may have read recently about popular scientists such as Richard Dawkins, Brian Greene, and Neil deGrasse Tyson gushing about the theory that our universe may be a computer simulation created by a higher intelligence. Scientific American wrote, "The idea that the universe is a simulation sounds more like the plot of The Matrix, but it is also a legitimate scientific hypothesis." But if this is a legitimate scientific hypothesis, why isn't it intelligent design?
Yes, as the article puts it, it's a hypothesis, not a theory. Since there's no evidence to support it and no way to falsify it, there is no reason to assume the conclusion is true. We could be living in a simulation, or an intelligence could be the cause of the universe. But since there is no evidence to support either of those claims, there is no reason to accept them. In the same way, I could claim the reason the leaves change color in the autumn is that gnomes go around the forest painting them different colors. Since I have no evidence to back up that claim, it is not in any way a legitimate theory.
Others claim that by opening up the possibility that the ultimate source of life may be beyond scientific consideration, intelligent design is not scientific. But what about the theory of panspermia? The theory that simple life first came to Earth from space. It's been advocated by scientific mainstays such as Fred Hoyle and Chandra Wickramasinghe. Nobel Prize winner Francis Crick, co-discoverer of the structure of the DNA molecule, even theorized that early life was sent to Earth by advanced, intelligent alien civilizations. Why do scientists like Crick get a pass when intelligent design theory gets shown the door?
What must be remembered is that while Crick thought this was an interesting hypothesis and a possible explanation to the formation of life on Earth, he never asserted it as a fact. He originally brought up the idea because of the proposed difficulty in the formation of self-replicating molecules in what was believed about the Earth's history and what was needed for life, specifically for RNA to occur. This is something that Crick readily admits has been updated by new scientific perspectives. More evidence has come to light, and, as a good scientist, he updated his understandings.
The reasons given to reject intelligent design as science would cause us to reject any number of scientific ideas as well. In fact, comparing intelligent design to evolution, atheist Thomas Nagel wrote, "Either both of them are science, or neither of them is."
Whoa, that's some heavy-duty quote mining there. What? If they're going to be quote mining, I gotta wear the right PPE. This is a zero-budget YouTube channel. What do you expect? It's not like we can afford props. Fine.
Atheist Thomas Nagel wrote, "Either both of them are science, or neither of them is."
Wow, heavy-duty quote mining there. For those of you that don't know, quote mining is the less than ethical practice of taking quotes out of context to give the impression that some data means something other than the original author's intentions. Nagel's quote is from his essay, Public Education and Intelligent Design, where he talked about the Kitzmiller versus Dover court decision. He was bringing up the case that Michael Behe attempted to make, that both intelligent design and evolution should be put on the same level playing field. If you continue reading Nagel after that quote and into the next paragraph, which is right below, you would see him tearing that argument apart. First off, he is saying if they are to be treated as valid hypotheses, then intelligent design is a bad theory that should be discarded. Second, he brings up that to be scientific, a theory needs to be falsifiable. That is, what could prove a theory wrong? The infamous rabbits in the Precambrian would be a falsifiable find for evolution. Nagel was setting up to show that nothing falsifiable can be shown for an intelligent designer, rendering the claim of one non-scientific.
When one truly steps back and looks at the evidence, it is hard to find reasons for rejecting intelligent design as science other than fear, ignorance, or ideological bigotry. And I don't know about you, but I don't find any of those reasons very scientific.
No, the reason for rejecting intelligent design is an incredibly simple one. It isn't fear or ignorance or any kind of bigotry. The reason is simply there is no evidence behind it. If you don't have any evidence behind your claims, they can be dismissed as easily as they are made. Bring evidence of your intelligent designer, be it Yahweh, Vishnu, or the Great Green Archseeker, and you'll begin the route to making intelligent design a valid theory. Until then, it is simply not scientific and has no place in scientific theories. We're ending on a bit of a sad note this time. Last week, Professor Stephen Hawking passed away. He was a great scientist and a great teacher who brought science to the masses. He'll be missed.